Welcome back now for our Tax Talk segment. We're joined by experts from the Eswatini Revenue Service to discuss VAT registration checks and data matching. The goal is to help businesses and the public understand who should register for VAT, how VAT works, and how to verify VAT compliance. I'm joined by Ndobeko Dlamini, Director of Communications and Marketing at the ERS, and Cebele Nkosi Matlalela, ERS Manager for Tax. A very good afternoon to you both, ladies. I trust you're having yourselves a lovely day. Let's talk tax. Cebo, I'd like to start with you. What is VAT tax? VAT, rather.
Afternoon, Natile. I'd like to say afternoon also to our viewers. So VAT actually is an acronym for value-added tax. It's a tax that is levied on the consumption of certain goods and services. So VAT essentially is paid by the final user, whereas on the other side, businesses are collecting and remitting the VAT to the ERS.
Right.
Yes.
Ndobeko, Eswatini is robust, you've got a hive of business activity, both big and small. So who should be registering for VAT tax in the country?
A very good afternoon to you, Notsile, and a good afternoon to our viewers at home. When we look at the businesses that are expected to register for VAT, the first type of business we look at is any business that makes an annual taxable turnover exceeding 900,000. That business is number one expected to register for VAT. We also look at businesses who may be reaching that threshold very soon. So we encourage them to reach out to us so that they can register for VAT. We also look at public institutions like municipalities and parastatals who offer taxable supplies. They are expected to register for VAT even if they don't meet that 900,000 threshold. And then lastly, we also have small SMEs, small businesses who may not meet the threshold but want to be able to register for VAT. We encourage them to voluntarily register for VAT. And those businesses may not meet the threshold but may be supplying bigger corporates who expect to interact and work with VAT-registered businesses. So those are some of the instances where a smaller business might want to be able to register for VAT.
Right. Cebele Nkosi, how does VAT actually work for registered businesses?
Okay, I'd like to start by making an example of what Ndobeko just mentioned, where you are a business and you do not meet the threshold, but you want to register for VAT. At times we can base that on potential. We can base on a contract that you've already signed. Say maybe you've gotten a tender, it's already guaranteed that you'll have job that's above the 500,000, so we can grant you the VAT status. So coming to the VAT mechanism, how does it work? So in actual fact, the number one thing that we'd like to highlight today to businesses is that if you are not VAT registered as an entity or as a business, we do not expect you to charge VAT.
Okay.
Only VAT registered businesses are allowed to charge or administer VAT. So how it works is that these businesses will be in operation. So we expect that time and again they will be filing their returns, which now we've introduced the VAT schedules, where they'll be giving us a breakdown, itemized in terms of the transactions that they've carried throughout that period that they are reporting for. So we will expect that in that itemized VAT schedule, you will be reporting the VAT that you have spent in terms of your costs or what you've bought. And then you'll also be reporting on the output side in terms of your sales. So how the mechanism works is that you'll be allowed to deduct what you've spent, meaning it will be output minus input. And then whatever comes out of that, if it's a positive status, it means that is the amount that you're expected to remit or pay to the commissioner. But if, of course, you've sold less than how much you've spent it in that period, it means you will be in a refund status. That is how now you will be liable, or rather you will be qualifying for a refund. So that is how VAT works. And that is, and we also expect, it's not a guess work. We expect businesses to file their VAT schedules and display and give the breakdown so that we'll also do the calculation in the system. It's system done actually. It's not hectic.
Okay.
You just need to keep your records accordingly so that you'll have all the items and all the transactions in the schedule.
Right. And Ndobeko, you mentioned that VAT businesses that have offer taxable supplies are expected to register for VAT. Can you give us an understanding of what you mean by taxable supplies? And also, how can the public verify if a certain entity is registered for VAT?
Okay, great. Maybe just to highlight on how Kabelongezi has spoken about the mechanics of VAT, I'd also just like to add that it is important that our offices are open. If clients have any questions, particularly to sort of the mechanics Kabo has spoken to, we are here to support. And then in terms of where a client can confirm that Company X is actually VAT registered. First and foremost, if you are VAT registered, you are then provided with a VAT registration certificate. And that you can find on 3 various platforms. The first platform being our TaxEase platform. If you have an ERS account with us, you have a TaxEase account, you can access that platform and you're able to type in the TIN number and VAT registration number, and there you'll be able to confirm if that company is indeed VAT registered. We also have a platform on our website where a client can type in that VAT registration number and automatically the website will indicate as to whether that company is VAT registered or not. And then lastly, we recently launched our ERS TaxPal app, and on the homepage of the app we do have a button that says VAT check. We encourage our clients to tap onto that button and they can again type in that VAT registration number and then they can confirm as to whether that company is VAT registered or not. And then companies that offer taxable supplies are companies that offer or sell services that ultimately we as ERS can tax. So those are the type of businesses that we're looking at.
Right. Kabulongozi, what are some of the common mistakes that you see businesses are making when it comes to registering for VAT?
Okay, one of the major mistakes we are looking at it as a mistake is for a business to charge VAT yet they're not VAT registered. It's clearly stated in the Act that only VAT registered entities can charge VAT. So now coming to the administration of VAT, when they are filing their schedules, we've picked, I think Ndobeko has already highlighted where you can verify if 18 is VAT registered. We've picked that some businesses in Eswatini, they still do trade with businesses that are not VAT registered, which is not a problem. But the issue now comes where you will pay VAT to an entity that is not VAT registered. Unfortunately, that specific transaction will not be allowed when you now claim with the commissioner, when you now submit your VAT schedule. We will disallow that specific transaction because the TIN that you traded with or the entity that you paid VAT to is not within the value chain. So it means commissioner will never come across that VAT portion that you've paid to an entity that is not VAT registered. So that's a big issue, and we would like to encourage our clients to take advantage of these platforms that we've made available out there to verify when you're asking for that invoice, when you're asking for that quotation, take that TIN, check if the TIN is VAT registered before you pay VAT to that entity. We will really like to encourage that. So that's one of the main, it's quite a number, but yeah, this is one of the biggest.
Okay, Ndobeko, before I come to you, I'd like to ask you another question. You mentioned that the ERS introduced VAT schedules. What is the data matching concept behind these VAT schedules?
Okay, so the data matching concept behind VAT schedules basically is the ERS receiving these schedules from the different businesses and the system allowing the ERS now to compare the data that you are getting. So company A has bought from company B has sold to company D. We are getting all that from the different companies and we're able now to compare the details that you are getting so that we are expecting that since you have paid so much VAT to this one, it means they will be remitting to the ERS so much. So this mechanism actually has allowed for faster processing because now in the past, before the introduction of the VAT schedules, even if you filed your returns, because in the past you used to just fill in a form and put in the figures without necessarily declaring details of who did you buy from, who did you sold to, at how much, and the invoice details. So you'd find that it would take time when we do the audits, it will take time even for us to ascertain if you're in a refund status, because it would be a back and forth. Now coming to the client requesting for supporting documents, but now with the VAT schedules, you have already given us everything that you will need. It would just be some few additionals that you'd want from you. So VAT mechanism, or rather the data matching mechanism, has allowed for accuracy, actually, because now we're getting everything from you. And we want to believe that this is not only just benefiting the ERS, it is benefiting the clients in a sense that even if you didn't know how to keep detailed financial records, with the VAT schedules, we have outlined to you the expectation. We have outlined to you what exactly do we want from you when we say keep detailed financial records. So you can just go to TaxEase, download the VAT schedule, and follow the pattern. This is what you need to keep for you to be able to file with the commissioner, so that even whenever an audit comes, you have everything in order.
All right, Ndobeko,
Yes.
I'd like for you to wrap it up for us. Any final messages for our viewers when it comes to, compliance in terms of VAT and registration?
Thank you, Notsile. I think Cebo has spoken at quite a length about the efforts that ERS has introduced to try and improve our revenue collection when it comes to VAT. We've introduced data matching, we've introduced the VAT schedules, but we also are, as an organization, encouraging our clients to also ensure that they are vigilant in how they interact with companies as well. And I had highlighted the various ways in which, as an individual or company, you can check, the company I'm interacting with, are they indeed VAT registered? So it's just encouraging that level of vigilance from our clients. And then for those that are VAT registered companies, to remind them that just yesterday, the 27th of August, was the deadline for the submission of VAT returns. So if there's anyone who's lagging behind there, to please submit and file their returns. And then lastly, to notify our clients that as the ERS, we will be at this year's International Trade Fair. We are located at Hall 1, and we look forward to interacting with all of our clients over the next week. But for those that are not there, we are available as the ERS. We're available telephonically at 2406 4050. We do have an email address, info@ers.org.za. And then lastly, we have a WhatsApp line where we're able to interact and assist our clients at 7606 3735.
Ladies, thank you very much for your time. That was Cebo Ndobeko Dlamini and Cebo Lenkosi Matlalela, both from the ERS. We were just discussing VAT.